Hello, everybody. Let's see. I'm trying to add in what this is about. I'm gonna be unboxing my Black Friday purchases. Hey, D White, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna be opening up my Black Friday purchases. I'm gonna see if I can see if I can save the title in this. I've tried it before, it doesn't always work. Let me know where you are watching from, what part of the world or the US. And if you purchased any Black Friday items, let me know. Oh, and this is gonna be short because my phone's about to die. As y'all know, that's how things roll around here. Okay, so let me see if I can pin this. Not working. Okay, moving on. All right, so I bought a food saver, and this is what I use at the commercial kitchen and also at my house to be able to seal up food. If you tuned in a couple weeks ago, I made some soup that I actually defrosted and put in the crock pot now. And so this might seem kind of old school, but this actually helps to make food ahead of time, and then that way you can store it, you can freeze it. It helps with marinating. I know for the Sigma's D White, y'all might want to consider getting one of these, especially for homecoming or for other events where you're making a lot of food. It helps to keep it sealed, it helps to keep it airtight, and it helps to stay fresh longer. So this one is a bigger version than the one I have before. And on Black Friday, this was about $45 or $50, and I bought it directly from the Food Saver website. And I was tired of transporting mine back and forth from the kitchen, the commercial kitchen, to my house, so I decided I was going to get one to test it out. And so this one is a little bit heavier duty than the other one I have, so I'll probably end up leaving this one at the kitchen instead. But it comes with these bags, and basically you can choose what size you want. So they come in a roll. And these are specially designed to make sure that things are airtight. That way when you put it in the freezer, you're not gonna have frostbite. You're not gonna have to worry about freezer burn, anything like that. And you can write the date and what it is on here, and then that way you'll know what it is when it's sitting in your freezer, and you can think about defrosting it and eating it later. They also come with pre-portion bags, and so this will just make it so that you don't have to cut them for it. So I'll use the gallon size for things like soup or large meats, and then the smaller sizes I'll use for like veggie sides. So this one is about a quart. And then they have pint size too. So on here, peel off the newness. And I'll also be opening up my Instant Pot. If you have one, or if you purchased one on Black Friday, let me know in the comments. All right, so on here you can, whoop, this is nice. It's suctioned to the table, so that way you won't have to worry about things slipping. On here they have a few different features. They have a speed, how fast you want it to seal up your stuff. If it's dry or moist food as well, that will let you know, that will let it know how it should seal it. If it's moist food, it's gonna have to seal it a little differently because the moisture is gonna get sucked up into the seal. They have a cancel button, of course the seal button, and vacuum and seal. So the difference between sealing and vacuum sealing it is, like our chips, for example, those are sealed. It just means it's going to be airtight. If it's vacuum sealed, that means that it is going to suction up all of the food inside of it. And I'm going to get some examples from my freezer to show you. So like this one is, this was kind of crazy. This is the salsa verde soup that I made the other week. So I made one batch to eat that week, and then I prepped 2 additional batches. So one's in the crock pot right now, and then one is sealed up here. I didn't vacuum seal this because the liquid, the broth from the soup would have gotten absorbed into the tray. Okay. Something like this would also work if you had something that came sealed already and you didn't use all of it. You could easily just slide it into your food saver and seal it that way as well. All right, let me know if you have any questions about the food saver, and I'm gonna go get my charger real quick because my phone's gonna die like I told y'all earlier. But basically you just put your stuff in here. There's a slider to cut your bags, and then you just seal it up. So I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Next, I'm gonna be opening up the pressure cooker. So let me know if you have an Instant Pot or pressure cooker at home, and if you got it on Black Friday. Okay, there we go. Okay, now my phone's not gonna die. But if you hear some sizzling in the background, I just got off of a Facebook Live with one of my friends, Patrick Tokuyama, and he was showing us how to make authentic Japanese food. And so I'm making a second batch. So this has nothing to do with the food saver, but just sharing. And I'll post it to IGTV because it's too long to post on IG stories. But we made chicken teriyaki, and then I just had some snap beans and then rice. So I'm making a second batch of that. I'm gonna go ahead and add my sauce to that. And then let that cook up. And I see Tiffany has a question. Let me scroll up. So Tiffany said, how much was the food saver? This one, I think, was about $50. I have a smaller one that is now at the commercial kitchen that I use. That was about $35. And I bought them both from the Food Saver website. And these are the same ones that I used to see on those infomercials growing up. That looked really crazy. Talking about it's going to suck all the stuff out of your food. Or not out of your food. Going to suck all the stuff out of the bag so that your stuff, so that your food still stays... What is the word I'm looking for? So that your food stays fresh. And it really does. It's not just an infomercial ploy. You can freeze fish up to a year. You can do cuts of beef up to 2 or 3 years. And the reason why it's able to stay fresh is because the sealer bags are, they're specially designed to cut down on frostbite. And the oxygen in our food, or the oxygen around our food, is actually what causes it to spoil. So this one was not too bad. They go up to a couple $100 as well, and there's some that are not the Food Saver brand that are also options on Amazon as well. And so I can link to those if you would like a suggestion. I'm gonna move this sucker over. I'm gonna stir my teriyaki. And I know a food saver might seem like something that like old people, or let me not say old people, that seasoned folks might be interested in, but it's definitely something that makes it so I can make freezer meals, which are meals that you make ahead of time, and they can be frozen for up to 3 months in a regular Ziploc bag, but with a food saver they can last even longer. And so it just makes it so it's easier. If you're gonna make something, you might as well make a couple batches of it, and that way you already have it done. You have one to eat that week, and then you have one for the next week or the next month or whatever, and it definitely helps us save money and save time. It also is helpful because then when you get to something like the Instant Pot, then my husband, or if you have kids, they can actually take that freezer meal out of the food saver bag and put it directly into the pressure cooker. And you might want to add, depending upon what it is, you might want to add a 1/4 cup of liquid, because what that's going to do is it's going to help it to steam and pressurize. If you have things like chicken, it's automatically going to do that, but because it's coming from a frozen state, it helps that process along, and it'll cook it faster. So gentle as a massive box. I got the 8-quart because why not? The other pressure cooker that I had was also an 8-quart, and same reason I wanted one to be able to leave at the commercial kitchen and to have one at home. And the other version that I had was not a Food Saver brand. However, I liked it just the same. And to be honest with you, when I first got it, my husband bought it for me as a gift. And it sat on our dining room floor for about 2 to 3 months because I was scared. And I was like, what are all these buttons? And it's too much. And then I just experimented and tried different things out. One thing I suggest to people if you're looking at getting a Instant Pot or a pressure cooker is to definitely look at the reviews. Instant Pot brand is going to be the safest option, obviously, because it is the leader in the industry. Because you do hear stories about people having issues and getting burned by pressure cookers. None of those stories have happened with the Instant Pot brand, and sometimes it's user error. So just some things to keep in mind. But the reason why I got this one is because all of the features that are on here, I don't know if you can see this. Let me just read them to you. So it will definitely cook your food faster. If you are somebody who watched your grandma cook or your mom cook, and they had that pot that had that little black knob on the top, and you were scared to touch it because it looked like it was going to explode, that's essentially what this is, but just a digital version of it. So instead of just not being able to control it as much, that's what the pressure cooker is and does. So you can make yogurt. I won't be making yogurt because I don't like yogurt. You can steam vegetables. You can make soup. You can slow cook. Some people use this in place of their crock pot. Personally, for me, I like the way the crock pot cooks a little bit better for slow cooking. But definitely you can use it for this. It's just my personal preference. And part of that is because the heat from, at least the one that I had, and I can try it out with this one, the heat from the pressure cooker that I had would come from the bottom, whereas in the crock pot, it comes from the sides. So I'll see if this one does the same thing as well. You can saute. So like, for example, if you wanted to just use one pan instead of dirtying up a bunch of dishes, you can saute your meat, brown your meat, things like that, add your veggies in there, and then seal it up. It's great for pasta dishes, all those kind of things. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you all that comes with it. So, all right, we have our little getting started guide, and they usually come with recipes as well. So if you're scared and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? It comes with a recipe book. No problem. They got you, and I got you as well, since I'm new to the Instant Pot family. They give you a little booklet of all the control features. And I know a lot of times people, they get new appliances or they get new things and they don't read the instruction book. For this, I would highly suggest that you read the instruction book because it is an appliance that has really high pressure and high steam, and you want to make sure that you're safe. They also give you this little cheat sheet of what all of the different symbols and things like that mean. Hey Janelle, thanks for tuning in. I'm going through my Black Friday purchases. And if I don't think I said hello earlier. Thank you, Tiffany. Hey, Express Meal Prep, how are you doing? Glam715, thank you all for tuning in. I'm going through Black Friday purchases that I got and doing unboxing. Okay, so, and I ended up getting the 8-quart because during Black Friday, not sure if you saw it, hopefully you did, but they had a really great deal on these, and it actually went even lower than I had advertised in my 2018 Black Friday deals because Amazon was changing it throughout the weekend. And they'll probably have another sale Christmas time as well, so I can definitely put that together in a gift guide for you. So this is the 8-quart. If you have a family, I would suggest getting the 6 or the 8-quart. The 3-quart is a good option if you're single or if you are thinking that you're going to make smaller dishes inside of it. And so, go ahead and twist open. All right. So on here, we have the 2 most important parts that you'll need to know is the open and close portion. And just like you saw, when you put it on there, closing, obviously opening it, this is going to seal in that pressure. And that seems very simple, but that's a very important step because you want to make sure it's sealed before you are turning it on and all those things to be safe. Then on the back part, see if you can see that, they have a vent and they call it sealing valve. When you are pressure cooking things, you want to make sure it's in the sealed position. And then when it's time to release that pressure, then you're going to want to put it in the venting position. If you are worried, because the steam's gonna shoot out of this portion. If you're worried about that, generally I'll take like a spatula. Get my snowman spatula. Actually, don't use plastic. Use a wooden one. So I'll just take this and then just tilt it with that. So that way you can do it from a distance and you won't have to worry about your fingers getting burnt. Even though you can totally do it and your fingers won't get burnt. But if you're scared, it's fine. All right, then inside of here, they gave us some attachments. And we have a rice ladle and then a soup ladle as well. And then they give you a little measuring cup. So if you're doing things like rice, some of the recipes will suggest, I don't know if you can see the lines on there. Some of the recipes will suggest how much of what to put in there, and they have that built in for you. And then they give you this bright yellow warning label sheet because you do want to make sure that you don't have the steam anywhere near your face or your hands. And you also want to make sure that you are there. This is kind of dramatic, but they want to make sure that you're safe and that you don't get burnt, because there is a chance you can get burnt if you're not doing it properly. But I think that sometimes scares people because they freak out and they think, oh my God, I'm gonna get burnt. But it's not that serious. Try it out. They have suggestions to do a test run, and you'll be safe. So they also give you this rack inside of here. And so this would go in like that. So you could just could lay it inside. And this is good for things like if you have potatoes that you're steaming, which if you're doing mashed potatoes, it makes a huge difference in here. You can steam them for about 8 to 10 minutes, if that, depending upon the potato size, and they're ready to mash. So you can also do this for larger vegetables as well if you don't want it on the bottom. And then this little sucker, this is going to capture any excess liquid. So this actually goes on this part right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. That little thing that's poking out. There we go. Because your, if it ever bubbles over, it will go into this portion right here. So, thanks for tuning in, HU Grad 02. I'm going over my Black Friday purchases. These were both purchased from my 2018 Black Friday sales guide. And so this is the Instant Pot. And then this is the base, which you're going to cook everything in. And so on here they have 2 measurements. They should be backwards to you because you can see them from the inside. I don't know that I can get the angle right there. So one of them is half full max and then 2/3 max. The reason why you don't want to fill it above 2/3 is because it's going to pressurize and it's going to not boil. It can boil, but it's going to pressurize whatever liquid's in here. So you don't want it to overflow too much. But if you ever do, then it's going to catch it right here. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Tag somebody who's thinking about getting an Instant Pot, but they're not sure, they're scared, or any of that stuff. Let them know. And if you didn't get in on the Black Friday special, Amazon will probably have another one soon. All right, Glam715 says, I'm convincing you to get one. It's so worth it. Like, when I tell you that I use this thing every day, because I have another pressure cooker, that's not Instant Pot brand, but it works just the same. I use this literally every day. Like for my freezer meals, I use it to cook rice in it. It stays perfectly cooked. I don't have to sit and wait for it on the stove. If you already have a rice cooker, then you can make larger batches in here. You can steam vegetables. You can do soups, legit everything. Amanda says, how long does cooked chicken stay good for in the fridge? Amanda, it depends on what's with the chicken. Usually the recommendation is about 4 days. I know some meal preppers, they will do it for longer periods of time. It's perfectly safe. It's not going to be something that you are going to get a foodborne illness from. If the chicken was cooked properly the first time, you can eat it up to 7 days. You might not want to eat it up to 7 days because of the texture, but really 4 to 5 days is the recommendation that the FDA decides. But I've had chicken 7 days and it's been fine. And a lot of meal preppers do that as well. Good question. So Glam, let me know what other questions you have about purchasing one, because it's definitely worth it to me. This, oh, I didn't tell you the price. This one was $60, but that's because it was on a super sale. Normally it's $140, but it was Black Friday. Originally they were gonna do it for $90, and then I checked, I want to say Friday night or Saturday, and it was down to $60, and it was the same price as the 6-quart. And to me, I'm like, bigger, better, why not? But if you are, so like Amanda, if you're thinking about getting one of these, I think, if I remember correctly, I think you are in college, correct me if I'm wrong. But if you are trying to use it for your dorm room, I would get like the 3-quart instead. Or the 6-quart if you're cooking for you and your roommates. All right, so let me know if you have any questions. I think I took everything out of the bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and, well, I'm not gonna wash this. I'm gonna let my husband wash this because he's in charge of washing dishes at our house. So I'm gonna put this in the sink so he can wash it for the first time. And I'm gonna tune out, or I'm gonna sign off. If you have questions, let me know, message me, DM me, whatever, and I can answer them for you. Have a good one. Oh wait, Amanda has one more. She said she is in law school. Okay, yes, I knew you were in school. She has a crock pot. Is this different? Yes, so this is different than a crock pot. Oh, I didn't show you all the front. That would help to explain the differences. So, on the front, I'll let you get a look right now. There are different buttons. So, on your crock pot, normally you're only gonna have the hour button, the minute button, the on, the off, things like that. Mine has stuff in it, otherwise I'd pick it up and show it to you. This is different than a crock pot. It can do the slow cooking like a crock pot, but it can also steam your food. It can it can saute your food. It can slow cook. It can make yogurt. It can do all of these things. And so one of the benefits of having a pressure cooker, like an Instant Pot, over a crock pot is that you can safely cook your food from frozen. In crock pots, it's not recommended that you do that because you're increasing your chances of getting a foodborne illness. Because if you're cooking something from frozen, there's no guarantee in a crock pot that it's gonna cook evenly. So the bacteria has a stronger chance of growing longer. It has a stronger chance of mingling, hanging out, making you sick. So you don't wanna cook things from frozen in a crock pot. But with a pressure cooker, you can throw it in there from frozen. You can add in about a 1/4 cup of liquid. So that could be soy sauce, it could be water, it could be broth. All of those things will help it so that it pressurizes and it steams. So yes, this is different than a crock pot, but you can do the same thing as a crock pot. So hopefully that answered your question. All right, we have some new friends tuning in. Hey, Michaela. Hey, J Money. I was going over Black Friday specials that I got. So I went over the Instant Pot and the Food Saver. So if you get a chance, go ahead and watch the beginning portion of that. You are so welcome, Amanda. No problem. Let me know if you need recommendations for them. I can send them to you. And even though the deals for the Black Friday guide are over, it's still something if you want to put it in your cart and let it sit until they have their next sale, like I do, then that's something you might want to consider doing. Okay, so Glam said I answered her other question. All right, perfect. Hey, Michaela, thanks for tuning in. You might like this too, actually. We might need to talk to Uncle Quint to get you one. I'm trying to remember. Did I tell you all of the things? I think I'm good. All right, so if you have questions, let me know. And I'll also post the Facebook Live that I did with earlier tonight with Patrick Tokuyama making teriyaki chicken, which I have going in the background. I'll post it on IGTV as well. And if you're not following me already on here, this is Chef Ashley Shep. I definitely did not introduce myself. I just realized that. And I'm in Atlanta, and I help busy moms get dinner done faster, and I help to simplify mealtime. So if you have meal prep questions, healthy-ish eating questions, let me know. And if you just want to get out of the kitchen faster, I'm your girl. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.